Hello everyone, I'm currently filming this at like 11 p.m. and I'm speaking slowly because I'm tired and my brain is not awake and I don't have the mental capacity to sort of info dump in a way that's super fast like I would during the day. And if I keep twitching my eyes, it's because I think there's been something in my eye for the past hour and a half. I did wash my eye, but it didn't really improve it. I don't know what it is. I might try washing my eyes later. I put in eye drops already. But yeah, and if there's that annoying sound in the background, it's this like machine thing on the balcony. I don't know if it's the aircon filter thing or what it is. It's right outside, like on the outside of this door, and sometimes it starts, sometimes it stops, and I hope it doesn't drown out my audio. I don't think it will because I have Rode mics, but you know, yeah. I don't know if I mentioned that I'm in Bangkok at the moment, so I don't remember what I said. I'm currently in Bangkok, Thailand, and I want to talk about speaking a foreign language in a foreign country. Yes, I was interrupted and I'm sitting here filming because I don't have my own room at the moment, so it's a bit hard and it really bugs me sometimes, and it does sometimes really mess with my head when I'm surrounded by people 24/7 and don't have my own space, as in my own area, secluded area away from everyone that I'm traveling with. It really does my head in being around people 24/7. Anyway, back to the actual video of the topic of the video is speaking a foreign language in a foreign country. So I have traveled around a bit with my fam, so been around interstate in Australia, been to Vietnam a few times, and I've been to Phuket in Thailand once. But the time I went to Phuket in Thailand, it was with a sort of like, it was not sort of, it was with a guided tour, like a tour guide, and then like sorted accommodations. They sorted our meals, they sorted out our accommodation, they sorted out literally everything, and then we didn't go around ourselves, so didn't need to like know how to talk to people because everything was basically sorted. Basically just show up with no responsibilities. This time my family and I we're in Bangkok and we're going by ourselves, and knowing this before I came here, I was listening to podcasts where they teach Thai, and I know a little bit of Thai, like ever so slightly, like basic Thai. When I went to, slightly off tangent, when I was in Vietnam, I didn't feel out of my depth because I speak Viet, I'm bilingual, so I speak English fluently and then Viet semi-fluently. So I know how to speak the language. If someone uses super advanced words that I don't understand in Viet, then I can tell them I don't understand what you're saying. These words are way too complicated. But in Thailand, I felt very out of my depth, and the first day I got here, I knew Thai. I knew how to say hello. I knew how to say excuse me, and saying the line, I speak a little bit of Thai, and asking people if they speak English. Like I knew that, but then I was very scared and like ambivalent to speak Thai because I felt so uncomfortable because I was sort of fearing that I would mess up and that people wouldn't take it well because I put way too much pressure on myself for literally everything, and I didn't use my Thai besides thank you. Thank you like once in Thai, and the rest I just said thank you in English. And then it's my the thing or whatever it is that's making my eye uncomfortable is still here, and that's why I'm twitching my eyes so much. It's like my third, what day is it today? I think it's my third day here. No. Yes, it's my third day. I was checking my watch. It's my third day here, and I started getting more confident in using the very little Thai that I know, and it's teaching me that it's like I sort of, how do I explain this? The locals take it quite well. And I've noticed they smile when I speak in Thai, even though I only say like 3 sentences correctly, and the rest I say I don't understand to them. They really like it when foreigners speak Thai, because we're going to we as in foreigners, because I come from Australia, we come to their homeland, and I think it's good to be able to speak a bit of their native tongue. It's like if people come to Australia, which is a predominantly English-speaking country, it's very hard to, like if say someone from Vietnam who doesn't know English coming to Australia, it's going to be very hard for the Viet person to connect and, you know, ask for help or like really anything if they don't know a little bit of English. It's the same with me being in Thailand. I forgot my point. What was I saying? My brain is very fried, yet I want to make a video, and I forgot my point. Yes, the locals take it really well when I speak Thai, even though I only know like 5 sentences or questions fluently or really well, and the rest I speak in broken Thai, because especially when people respond to me, I respond in broken Thai, because in the moments my brain just doesn't formulate full sentences, and sometimes I know words, and then when my brain gets really tired, I forget how to say things. Like the other day, the hotel staff, like housekeeping hotel staff, brought in like extra towels that I requested, and then I forgot how to say thank you temporarily, and then I just said thank you in English, but then I knew the Thai word for thank you, and then I just like blanked out in that moment, and then after the person left and I just remembered again how to say thank you in Thai, I feel less out of my depth now on day 3 compared to day 1, but I still feel out of my depth despite knowing a little bit of Thai, and despite the locals really appreciating that I can speak a little bit of Thai with them, even though sometimes it's really broken Thai. Still feel out of my depth because I don't fully know the language. I don't fully understand the culture here. I fully don't understand or know of the customs. I don't know the way of life here. And that makes me, as a foreigner traveling here without a tour guide, makes me really feel out of my depth. And when I traveled here in Thailand, like in end of 2018 to Phuket, I didn't think about these things. Probably because I was in a different period of my life, and there were different things going on, and I was with a tour guide where I just followed them around, and they just took us everywhere, and we didn't really need to know how to speak Thai. But yeah, I didn't really think about this stuff in depth, and the sort of the nature of how humans communicate, and like differences in language, and the diversity in how different humans from different places around the world communicate, and the customs and culture associated with communications, and stuff like that. Just interacting with the locals here and speaking a bit of Thai with them, I can start to see how different it is. In Thailand, there's something called the Y, which is a greeting, and usually when you say hello, you like do a little like nod your head or like bow a little with your hello or your thank you, which is something I often do when I'm here. But back home in Australia, it's not really like that. Something else is like when I was eating at a local restaurant like down the road from the hotel, like very local. So I think it was like someone's house. Very like local food, very good price, nothing fancy, but good food. The chef literally, like my entire family and I, the chef literally said goodbye to like us individually and bowed to all of the members of the family individually, not just like stared into the void and said goodbye as we were leaving, like literally goodbye every single one of us individually. And that's something you just don't get in like restaurants in Australia. Like that's just one example of like difference. And this is my fidget cube. Like it's a magnet cube that starts as a cube, but you can open it, but then you have to like, there's a way to put it back into a cube. I'm just gonna start fidgeting because I feel like my hands are too restless. In a way, while I feel out of my depth here, it's a good thing also because it's like this sense of adventure and being thrown out of my comfort zone and sort of learning to assimilate in a different country which I don't reside in. Good way to build my confidence in talking to people as well. And the extra challenge of not being able to speak the language fluently and some people here not being able to speak English fluently. So there's like that barrier in communication, which just sort of makes navigating such conversations a lot more interesting sometimes. And sort of having to work together despite speaking two different languages and trying to understand each other that way. I was gonna say something else earlier, I forgot. I think this part of what I said was lost in the 5 minutes when my mic didn't record properly. Earlier today, I went to the market and I bought fried banana. Like they literally take banana, flatten it out, roll it in batter and then deep fry it. And I ordered in Thai. Like I said, excuse me in Thai, and I asked how much is this in Thai, and then I said I want one of these boxes in Thai. And at the end of the conversation, the vendor said I speak Thai really well. And I was really surprised because I literally only know like 5 or 6 phrases or sentences or questions, like collectively well, and the rest is just like I sort of broken Thai. And the other interaction I had today was with a masseur. I went to get a massage like 4 hours ago, and I told her that I only speak a little bit of Thai, and then I think she really did appreciate it, me trying to speak in Thai, because she was smiling at me a lot. And I think she was telling the other masseur about me in Thai. Like I don't know what they were saying, but I understood the sentence of, I think they said like he only speaks a little bit of Thai. I understood that sentence, but the rest of it I didn't understand. But it was like a more like like you connect with people more. I'm sorry if this video was like scattered because I'm just brain sort of dumping, very slow autistic dumping in a way, autistic info dumping. I think they really, I said this already, I'm just trying, I lost my point again. Oh yeah, they smiled a lot at me, like not smile in a creepy way, but like smile in a like appreciative way in a way. And then I felt like the human connection was sort of greater compared to if I were just to walk in there and speak no Thai at all and not even say hello in Thai and just went straight up in like English mode and said no word in Thai whatsoever. I think it would have been it would have been a much different experience. It would have been a lot more, it would have felt a lot more foreign if I knew no Thai whatsoever. Initially, I also felt out of my depth coming here because I was scared of being ridiculed for speaking Thai in a broken way and not really knowing anything. And that's a lot due to the pressures I put on myself to sort of be perfect all the time, and sort of being here for a few days and speaking Thai with the locals, the very little Thai that I knew. It's like evidence for my brain that, hey, you don't have to have everything figured out, which is basically the theme of the first video I put up this year. And it will be okay still. I didn't know how to speak fluent Thai with the locals, but it all worked out well, and there was still the understanding there of the language barrier. But it's like they knew that I was trying, and they knew that I didn't just, come to their homeland and full on bombard them with English without knowing even a little bit of Thai. There was that there was that understanding, and just they're so receptive, and receptive of me being able to speak a little bit of Thai, but not knowing it fluently. It felt very welcoming for a foreigner. It's very welcoming for a foreigner. And I think that reception came because I started conversing Thai, and again, not bombard them with foreign English initially. Yeah, it's been working out well, even though I didn't fully have confidence in myself. It's definitely getting easier as the days go on. The confidence builds up, the experience builds up, the evidence against my unease and uncertainty and nerves about, speaking Thai builds, the evidence against the anxiety builds as things work out, even though I don't think they will. Things work out okay, and no consequences ensue, only good vibes and wholesome moments with locals. Yeah, I think that's all the brain dump I have for now. My brain's just really shutting off now. So I will leave you all to it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you may be watching from, and I will see you in the next video.